not only a campaigner and another female brilliant genius fighting this stuff, but you also suffer. I mean, aspartame and toxic food is everywhere. You can go to a place you just mentioned on the break here that you went to the Waffle House on your way back out of hospital after you got exposed to a small amount in some kind of god-awful way, some aspartame. You almost have to have some kind of amulet hanging around your neck called aspartame. You need to actually have nutraceuticals that will help to protect you. And again, I mentioned just a few right off the top. We have things like high-dose power C, Cell Defense Plus, and we actually have a new compound that we're bringing in from India that's about 30 times more absorbed than any other curcumin that'll actually turn off the cytokine levels. The problem is right now your body is in alarm phase. If it even sinks 2 molecules of toxic food or aspartame, splenda, advantame, or anything like it, it goes into alarms like, ah! And the problem is that can either cause a cardiac arrest or serious stress or even cause God knows what kind of damage. The problem is our entire society is dying from toxic food now. Please continue.
Well, I was just getting ready to tell you, not only did I just come back from the pharmacy because it made me so sick, I was throwing up.
Right.
But I picked up the phone as I came in, and Lane Shore called, and he says, I've come constantly going to places and trying to get people to help get it off the market. And he says, I'm seeing people actually dropping in the streets. And he said it has gotten to that situation. And I told him, I said, this is the point that is so frustrating, is that they are so powerful, is that as far as doing anything, that first of all, who do you report, and what would they do? For instance, the FDA reported themselves. The FDA in 2009 reported their own corruption to the President of the United States, and nothing in the world was done about it. Here comes along Dr. Millstone and does a study showing it was never proven safe. It is being completely ignored. If you need evidence that it's illegally on the market, we have the confession in writing of the FDA by one of the chief FDA investigators of aspartame, Dr. Adrian Gross, admitting to the Senate that it's illegally on the market because it violates Delaney and causes cancer. If you need scientific peer-reviewed research, it's almost 100%, and it's all horrific, like the one that shows that was done that shows that it can be contributing to the end of humanity and deplete serotonin.
You know what the whole problem is, though? It comes down to one thing. People are starting paradigms of self-destructive suicide. And it's not just the regulators of the government. If the public became totally aware of this, believed everything you said, and went to your website, Mission Possible World Health International at mpwhi.com, and they believed everything, read all the documents, they just go to the grocery store and not this, throw it over their shoulder, and they skip down to a bunch of foods that they say, we're only going to buy this food. And guess what happened to the food industry? They'd mutate. For example, recently they'd say that McDonald's decided to move to, quote, organic chicken. Do you know if you have non-organic chicken, it's all laced with arsenic? Because the feed that they feed all regular chickens is laced with arsenic. When we look at medicine, why did they get away with the generic companies, primarily many of them coming in from China and elsewhere, adding aspartame to pills to make them sweet, now that they're going from regular to generic? So you don't swallow the pill, you got to put the pill in your mouth. Why did we get away with this? Because we, the public, put up with it. We put up with old paradigms. We say, oh, that Dr. Deagle, that Dr. Martini, she's a conspiracy theorist. It's all foolishness. Don't believe anything they say. Guess what? You stupid SOBs are going to die. You're going to get sick first. You're going to get cancer. You're going to get heart disease. You're going to get dementia. And the problem is, see, this is all part of a genocide plan to get rid of much of the human population. People say, oh, no, it's not that bad. I said, you know what? You're an idiot. And the Darwin effect's going to take over, which means you're going to die and be taken into the gene pool. People just they don't want their paradigm, and sometimes humor will get through to these idiots. But the public are the problem. It's not even the politicians. If the public basically believed everything you and I said, this problem would disappear like a vapor in an early morning sunrise in Scotland and the Highlands. It's not, because the public are dumb as a bag of rocks and they think we're liars. That's the problem.
Well, I was discussing just yesterday evening the fact that many of the times I take the actual FDA records themselves with the admission and the evidence, and I put these articles on the net, and the next thing you know that they are removed. And
I know. Are you kidding? Of course they're removed, because the globalists are satanic, cult, bloodletting devils. I mean,
well, I was asking how did they get away with it? And they said with Google, if people report that it's inappropriate, that they will take it off.
Listen,
and,
I've changed their name
from. So I did some checking, and I noticed that when they take things off or say that you are not able to read it, then you'll see a bunch of articles by industry saying, all these people talking about aspartame, and it's just a myth and a hoax. It's just, it's perfectly safe. So, they have groups, they have plans, they have everything to follow through with all the terrible things that they do. And then you turn on TV and you have to watch the terrible commercials of the hospitals like St. Jude, children with the brain tumors, because it breaks down to, the brain tumor agent dipyridine, and it's and all these cases, and that they got away with not putting a pregnancy warning on something that causes horrific birth defects. It's just from every single avenue.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm going to put the blame on the public, okay? Do you know what I crave most in my life, besides oxygen and good food, which my wife makes, or I go to an organic restaurant? Do you know what I crave? I crave questions that would make a normal person turn inside out and upside down. I crave questions that only a man listening to the voice of God would answer. I crave questions that are the truth, because it's not seeking the answers that's going to get you solved. You've done seeking questions, and what you've done is found the documents that are the water to water these things and say, you know what? This is the way it is. And when people look at the facts, they just it says in the Bible, they look in the mirror and they forget what they look like in the mirror. It's obscene. The public are suicidally stupid, aren't they? Now, I'm not going to blame the politicians, because, to be honest with you, if we didn't put up with this crap in the public, the politicians and the regulators and the FDA and the EFSA in Europe wouldn't get away with this crap. The public puts up with it. The medical profession puts up with it. I had doctors tell me, one doctor about 12, 13 years ago, he said in Phoenix, and I was at a conference, he said, Dr. Deagle, I used to think you're an idiot. Now I realize you're a genius, and you're telling the truth. And if I do what you say, whether it was like Lyme disease, how to treat Lyme, they're going to pull my license and say, you know what? Is your license worth that valuable? You'd rather have someone die or get sick or develop a terminal illness because you're afraid to tell the truth and do the right thing? The problem is we have a gutless, stupid society that won't face their cognitive dissonant errors of their ways, and they need to wake up and realize and smell the coffee. We're presenting the truth, and it's terminal now. With all the genetically modified food, with all the e-toxins out there from electromagnetic pollution, with all the aspartame, splenda, advantame, sodium cyclamate, etc., we're done. We're like a turkey being done in the oven. The human race is finished. And if we don't wise up, we're not going to go out in a big pop. We're going to go out in a whimper, aren't we?
Well, I'll tell you what, even the politicians that know and are allowing their own families, Senator Kennedy, one of them that spoke out about the studies being so horrible, but obviously you appeared to have used it. Someone said that he used a lot of gum, and all gum has aspartame in it.
Right.
And he died of one of these glioblastomas. Okay, McLean knew about it. He died of one of these same glioblastomas. So did
Biden's son.
President
One of Biden's son
Biden.
died, and so did John McInsane.
Yeah.
Cell phone plus aspartame. Listen, co-toxicity. Drink aspartame gum and put a cell phone inside your head. Glioblastoma. Have a nice day. Right.
Right.
It's like a formula. It's like I'm going to make cookies. Okay, you take a cookie, you put the dough in, you got the rising agent, etc. The rising agent is cell phone. Put in the cookie dough crap and all the toxic garbage aspartame. No problem. You can make a glioblastoma multiforme. Do it just a few months from now. Then all of a sudden they won't see or they hear weird buzzing sounds in their head. The doctor will do an MRI scan and say, no, you've got a terminal brain cancer.
Yeah. Well, when you see
we can irradiate it or we can give you chemo, which will turn you into a vegetable.
Yeah, and they really don't care. One of the things, when they were giving me drugs that had aspartame in it, and I didn't know, it gives you brain fog. And one of the reasons I started checking everything because that's
right.
what it was, and you don't care about anything on it when you're using it, and it's so addicting. It wasn't addicting me; it was making me so sick,
right.
And I couldn't figure out what it was because I had the doctors that had given me the prescriptions were the very doctors I had given stacks of stuff on aspartame and had thanked me and said they figured that it was aspartame doing these things. And they told me, we just didn't know. And that they were just so busy that they can't check every single prescription, and they're doing it in so much in the generics. And in so many cases today, it's just simply not labeled. And I'm still worried over the fact that an article came out that the FDA won't reply on, where it says the FDA has given us promises to extend and enlarge the aspartame industry.
Do you know what our problem is? We trust lawyers or high-level masons, every single law association, the bar association. We trust politicians that are they're devoid of humanity. The only one I see that has at least some degree of humanity and he's still screwed up is Donald Trump. Most of the politicians we see they should use their minion voice, from the Screw Tape Letters. This is the minion version of Nancy Pelosi. Dear Lord Satan, we're still proceeding with the impeachment. Adler. Dear Lord Satan, we're still doing the impeachment. Dear Lord Satan, this is This is Adam Schiff. Last two letters of name STT instead of FF. Dear Lord Satan, we're still proceeding. Now the fact is, these regulatory agencies are not going to get right unless we people get right. If we trust, for example, when I tell people, don't trust your doctor. For example, when I interact with a doctor, I ask them tough questions. I ask them, have they read the product insert? I ask them, do they know about lab tests? I ask them, even my own doctors, I ask them questions. I drive people nuts. People say, Dr. Deagle, you must aggravate people. I said, I don't believe in playing with their mental blocks. And I want the public to start getting an attitude. If you have an attitude, you won't buy bad produce in the store. You won't get bad medicine over the counter in your pharmacy. You won't get aspartame-less crap or other toxic genetically modified food or excitotoxins like the toxins that kill from Dr. Russell Blaylock. You need to have an attitude. Otherwise, if you trust the regulatory agencies and the pharmacies and the doctors and the food manufacturers, you're dead in the water. Forget it.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get emergency foods for your supply for preparation and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop down message at NutriMedical.com and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop down menu and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with you providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. To stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance by Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer, and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Okay, we're back. Yep. So, Dr. Betty, what's the situation now? What actions are happening at EFSA in Europe? What's going on with the FDA? What's happening with the state congressmen and people? What's happening with the suits against the drug companies and so on? What's happening?
Well, it's sort of like what Dr. Millstone says. Yeah, he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that aspartame was never proven safe, how it was done, and as he himself said, what they're doing is just ignoring the whole situation. In other words, okay, we've done everything that we've needed. We've shown how aspartame got approved by the FDA through Donald Rumsfeld, through political chicanery.
Right.
We've shown what the studies shown. We have done scientific peer-reviewed research with almost 100% of it showing how bad it is, and not one thing is being done because they've got so much power that they are completely ignoring it. The FDA is so bad that they won't answer your letter, and they told me that if I wrote a petition for a ban, it had to be information past 2002.
Let me give you a solution to the problem, okay? I don't take a kind of a passive attitude toward things. You know, for example, even Trump is negotiating. I don't believe in negotiating. I believe in action and anticipatory reaction so that you're 2 or 3 steps ahead of your enemy. If I was recommending, and people are out there listening, they go to my webpage and go to the bottom to How to Win in Court. If they don't have the link, I'll send it. Email me and I'll give you the link. Get the course, file a pro se litigant action against the individuals in the FDA, against the individuals on the boards of these drug companies, against the drug companies themselves, and against the departments and their individuals. They're not shielded because what they're doing is illegal. For example, the illegal regulatory stuff that's gone on with the FDA to allow toxins in our food, they're now well proven. They can be sued personally. Now, what are you going to do if you're a personal representative in a government department and you get hit with a, say, $20 or $50 or $100 million lawsuit? And now you realize you're a government employee doing evil and you're not dealing with things, or you're telling people, if you don't reply in such and such a way, we're not going to even respond. They do this because they have all kinds of government spin stuff that they can do to you that can tell you, hey, we're the government, we're in control. No, they're not. No, they're not. And if we have 10,000, let's say, American citizens that filed suit against aspartame, Splenda, and toxic food, excitotoxins, and genetically modified food, this problem would be over in a day. In fact, what would happen is the big manufacturers of food and so on would say, holy crapes, we need to take that number and multiply. In fact, when you call into the White House or any other political agency, they take your phone call and multiply it by 20 to 40,000, which means for every person that emails or contacts them really ticked off about an issue, they multiply it by 20 to 40,000 more ticked off people haven't contacted them yet. Now, if we filed suits, we'd stop this crap. We need to stop thinking we can elect the right politician, or we can write a letter, or we can be nice. We need to not be nice. Dr. Deagle.
Well, the problem is, first of all, most of these people do not have the money to do it.
No. Stop. You don't need money. You're not hiring a lawyer. You're going to do it yourself. You don't need the money. It's $250 for the course, and it lasts for years.
Okay.
Once you get the course, you don't need money. Here's the thing. The legal thing was set up by the courts because they're all basically druidic, scientific, control freak things, and the Bar Association is entire Masonic. There's no such thing as a bar association. Every single nation in the first and second world, including even communist China and Russia, have bar. British authorized registry. They're Masonic. The reason why the politicians in our Western Hemisphere, 85% of our politicians are attorneys, because they're all friggin' Masons. They all cover each other's butt. They're the Bar Association. They don't want you to kind of break their little legal control or to even appeal things or to sue them personally for doing evil crap. If we did, oh my God, they're going to take my house because as a regulator in the department of such and such, I personally am going to start filing some suits. I'm not going to wait to people. I'm going to file them myself. And when I file these suits, they're going to be against, say, aspartame and the FDA. They're going to be against genetically modified food. They're going to be against 5G network, which the freaking government, including Mick Mulvaney, doing a little dance in this idiot Donald Trump. Because Trump is an idiot on some issues. He needs to be trained. He's a moron. Yeah, I want to elect him if he just deals with the economy and he listens. But so far he's not listening. He's got globalist maniacs around him. And it's the same people like Ronald Rumsfeld. Who was the guy at the time when they approved aspartame? I think it was Bill Clinton, wasn't it? At the time aspartame was approved. Was it Bill Clinton?
No, Reagan, and Reagan helped.
Okay.
Reagan was
Reagan.
the one that helped Rumsfeld, and when Rumsfeld said, "I'll call in by markers."
Okay, now if you listen to my Thursday show, Gary Richard, Ronald Reagan was not a good guy. He was one of these guys that pretends to be a globalist right-hand guy, and he's not. He is a globalist maniac, okay? And Ronald Reagan himself probably died of aspartame-induced dementia caused by aspartame-laced jelly beans on his White House desk. So Ronald Reagan was a moron, just like a lot of other morons. Doesn't matter if they're the POTUS, the president. It doesn't impress me at all, okay? Just like it doesn't impress me that Donald Trump is the president right now.
The fact that that according to informants, the National Soft Drink Association did a 10-year study that showed aspartame causes Alzheimer's, and even the FDA list shows the memory loss is evident as to why there is so much dementia everywhere, and people that are so young. Like hospices, they call me and say, people tell me to call you because people are coming in.
The early phase of dementia is ADD, ADHD, and Asperger's syndrome. It's a breakdown of the metabolic blood-brain barrier. And people say, "Oh, can you prove that, Dr. Deagle?" You're talking to the Deagle. I can do a SPECT blood flow scan, T1 weighted MRI scan, quantitative electroencephalogram, platelet level bioamines, genetic analysis, cardiac and vascular markers, and do advanced medical, what's called MRA, magnetic resonance angiogram, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I can prove to you, knuckleheads out there, that I know exactly why someone's brain's on fire. And you wonder why we have so many kids with ADD, ADHD, and Asperger's syndrome? Why the number one cause of death in Britain now is dementia? The number one cause of death in Britain is not stroke or heart attack or something else. It's dementia. Did you know that? In other words, grandma starts drooling, we stick her in a nursing home, and eventually she has a cardiac arrest from malnutrition.
Yeah, well,
that's what's going on.
As far as ADD, you're absolutely correct, because in the movie Sweet Remedy, they did interview the ADD people who said prior to aspartame being put on the market, they hardly even used the word. In other words, ADD came with the approval of aspartame.
Of course it did. It's a blood breakdown of the blood-brain barrier, which is a metabolic barrier. People say, Dr. Deagle, you can't prove it. You know what? You know what the thing that really frustrates me, and again, I'm going to ask you to ask some tough questions. People are terrified to ask Deagle questions. You know why? They want to say, you think you're a prophet, Dr. Deagle. Look, I only have a few 3x5 cards. I don't know everything. I know a few things. You think that you know more than my doctor. Yeah, damn it. I've been at this business now approaching 50 years, and I've asked more questions than man alive for 1,000. You think that and if I don't know something, I'll research and get back to you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I use over 50 labs, and I do imaging studies, and I do video review. We don't have a problem. We have a disaster, and it's right in front of us, and we can quantifiably prove it. People say, well, what's happening to my mama? She's got dementia. Well, what is she doing? Drinking aspartame drinks and having aspartame or MSG, or she's been on oral medicine that's got this crap in it. And she's on dementing drugs that are going to demyelinate her brain. Do you know if you go on an HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, it not only knocks out your male and female hormones, it demyelinates your brain. You can do a T1 weighted MRI scan and show demyelinated dementia in someone who's been on it for a couple of years. People say, no, Dr. Deagle. I said, you know what? You're an idiot, and there's no proof that you'll ever going to get a clue unless you actually shut up and listen. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking, well, you can't prove that. Yeah, damn it, I can. I can take the case of your mama, put her through a lot of tests that are really expensive, and prove to you I know why your brain is on fire or why your brain is turning to mush. And people say...
just recently, I did not put this online, but you probably saw it, where a woman was given some Pepsi Max of aspartame, and she had phenylketonuria and was in a coma for it was at least 3 days. Anyway, the problem is that when they start putting this, and they got so many names for it, and so many of these products, and there are so many people with phenylketonuria, they're just dropping. As a recent article said, this is not an allergen, when so did Dr. Russell Blaylock.
You know the problem is, though, do you think that I've met, to be honest with you, I'm going to be really honest with you here, okay? Do you think I've met a medical doctor that I can't ask a question that makes him squirm? Dr. Betty, do you think there's some doctor somewhere, cardiologist, a neurologist, endocrinologist, geneticist, that I won't make them squirm by asking them tough questions?
Well,
damn it, you aren't going to believe it, whether it's in court or out of court. And the problem is, you see, we need to start doing it legally. If we start legally, if you need my help and you need evidence, ask me. Okay? The problem I see is, I'm learning in this show again, 3 hours again, not one tough question by one individual, even my co-host, of questions you wouldn't ask an individual unless you had God on his shoulder telling him the answer. So I want you to go ahead in this last segment here, almost second to last segment, ask the toughest question you would ask you've never heard yet from any human being or doctor, where you know that Dr. Deagle is hearing not just from his superior intellect, but from the Most High God. Because we're screwed. Our society is going to be either going out with a thermonuclear, chemical, and biological war, or we're going to go out with a whimper, or both, because of toxic food, including aspartame, Splenda, Advantame, azosulfam, and all the other crap. We're at the point now where the human race's IQ is dropping, fertility. We're even feminizing males, because most of these biotoxins, including aspartame, are feminizing, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it's an endocrine.
It's an endocrine disruptor.
Yes. So, you would expect all this, and we're seeing it right in front of our eyes. And I feel sorry for some of these physicians, like the neurologist that I went to that tried to give me a statin, and he's very holistic. And I said, why in the world would you even think to do something like that? And he says, well, I think I may have to just leave medicine, because if you don't give out and prescribe statins in the hospital, they give you a pink slip. And so,
let me insert a little story here. Back in 2003, I had a drug rep come to my office in Denver, Colorado. She said, Dr. Deagle, I thought you were a nice doctor. And I think, uh-oh, something's coming. So she threw down some toys and some drug samples. I said, oh, what's that? It was Zocor and some drug samples and little toys or something, pens, whatever. She said, then she threw down a report that looked like it was like 50 pages with piograms and histograms and everything. I said, what the hell is this? And she says, you're not prescribing our drug or our competitors. I said, I did not see your damn Swami hat, and I don't see a crystal ball. How the hell do you know that? Oh, we bought it from data from Ohio. I said, I never practiced in Ohio. Oh, your data was collected using your DEA drug enforcement number. I said, you're kidding. So your drug company used my DEA number to scope me and tell me, and so, yeah, we were thinking about reporting it to the state licensing authority for not prescribing our drug, Zocor, or our competitors.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NUTRIMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NUTRIMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NUTRIMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing NutriComplete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit flavored mix. No, they don't. When you go down the grocery shelves and you see all this crap, when you go to the pharmacy and see all this crap in your medicines, when you get excitotoxins that kill, when you get aspartame and advantame and aspartame and other aspartame kind of analogs or other toxic things like Splenda, which is basically an optical isomer of sugar with chlorine that releases in your DNA, people need to understand this is designed to screw you up and kill you. And it does a very fine job. And the gutless doctors, I don't get people to argue with me. In fact, I'd like you to ask a tough question now in this last segment. What I crave for is tough questions. I am the lineal blood descendant of Moses, and I got the Moses personality, and I don't know everything. There's thousands of prophets. I consider you a prophet of toxic sweeteners. I only have about 3 or 4 or 5 3x5 cards of stuff I know that are not damn well Deagle's opinion. And on those 3 or 4 3x5 cards, including the danger of nuclear warfare and toxic, we call pharmacide. Remember in Revolution 9 it says, and they would not repent of the pharmakia? Pharmakia is aspartame in our food, in our medicine. Pharmakia. They would not repent of pharmacy. That's why God brought judgment. And can you guess what? I don't see any repentance happening. Do you? You know what it means? It means as doctors and patients, you got to get your back up in the air like the movie Network and be mad as hell and not take it anymore. But people aren't. They're putting up with crap. Why? I don't. I'd rather not have a license from this GD country. If they want to give me a license, I want to be able to do free open health care and use advanced technology like I do right now with telemedicine under the radar. And I want to be able to help people, give them good advice. I'm a surgeon. I'll tell them when surgery is appropriate, but it's very rare. I'll tell them when their drugs are okay, but remember, if your drug doesn't have a side effect, it probably has no effect either. A lot of drugs are really freaking dangerous. I got a report just last week about a gentleman who took Entresto He got a reaction last year, started getting migratory dermatitis. It was horrifying, joint and nerve pain, and eventually his scrotum swelled up a month ago so much he had to get around his home in a walker. Do you not understand, people out there? They don't give a crap about you, and your doctor doesn't give a crap. He wants to get in and out of the office and get his fee code so he can go home on the weekend, rest and watch TV or go fishing. If you think I'm making this up, you're an idiot, okay? I'm not making it up. And people don't want to challenge me because, do you think I get any doctors or people? I had one idiot doctor to argue with me 9 years ago about vaccines. He was probably over 6 foot tall. By the time I finished with him, he was shorter than the midget on Game of Thrones. All right? All right. Now, Dr. Deagle is not Mr. Passive. If you out there are a moron and think, well, Dr. Deagle's not very nice, what the hell did you think that there's nice and 10,000 miles should be between my name? I'll die for you. You're my brother or sister, but I won't put up with a centillion of crap from any human being on earth. I'd rather die with the truth in my lips and my teeth than lies. I'd rather not have a license in this freaking country than deal with the fact that I'd have to harm people with toxic polypharmacy or give them a HMG CoA reductase inhibitor, or don't even tell them there's aspartame in their oral medication they're getting generic, or tell them that toxic cytotoxins are not causing the kid to have Asperger's or ADD, which eventually is going to make them either a violent criminal when they go off their so-called Cylert, Pemelina, etc., or eventually they're going to get demented, because dementia's first stages is ADD, ADHD, and Asperger's syndrome. Did you know that? Every one of these kids with ADD, ADHD is on their way to dementia. They're on the road.
Yeah. But the other thing that has caused so many problems with doctors speaking out, you had Dr. Monty on your show,
right?
And, they blew up his house. They couldn't stop him. They blew up his house with him in it.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you what would happen if I say I'm going to do it. If I'm like the Predator on Alien or Predator, I have incendiary weapons. If I shoot at you, it'll blow up a bomb and blow you into little cinders. I'm building scalar weapons, and I'm going to release non-lethal scalar weapons and soon lethal ones. If you want to bother Dr. Deagle, I'm going to bother you into the ring of Hades. And legally, if you want to fight with me and go to court, take me to federal court, state court, military court. I'm a military expert. You want to cross-examine me? Only if you're a moron and you haven't had drinks the previous night do you want to fight with Deagle in court, because I think faster, farther, smarter, and can memorize the medical and legal record. And let me tell you, I'm going to take you down to Chinatown. I get loud enough that you will lose some personal hearing in a private depot or voir dire. Now, if you don't have my attitude, you're going to be a damn victim. And the problem is our society is populated by victims because they victimize you in these stupid churches. They victimize you in this so-called diseducation system. They victimize you by saying, government will be your nanny state. And look at Bernie Sanders Claus and Elizabeth Warren popping her eyes. The nanny state will take care of you. They'll diaper you to death. Won't they? They'll diaper you into your grave.
I think of what they have done to so many that have really worked to expose, like Dr. Bowen.
Right.
He told me they put him in prison, and he got himself out. Now, he has no criminal record because he's never committed a crime, but what he said, what Dr. Bowen said to me, is that he told the other doctors that if they kept exposing aspartame, they would have the same thing done to them as that they.
No, they wouldn't if they did what
Dr.
Deagle
Bowen.
does. Why do you think my colleagues are dead because they get shot or poisoned or whatever, and Deagle's still yappering, despite having my internet and everything shut down, and even incredible disrespect at Republic Radio, Genesis Network, and even Rents? Why do you think I'm still jabbering? Because I got God on my side, and I'm fearless, and I don't care about dying. I'm not afraid to die, which scares the crap out of the dark side. And God keeps resurrecting me. Say, you know, that mouthpiece, Deagle, I'm going to keep him out there to help people like Betty Martini, because she's doing all this policy. She's very frustrated because she's not making progress. You're not making progress because you need pro se litigant actions by the tens of thousands. If we had 10,000 pro se litigant actions filing in your behalf on all these issues, the aspartame thing would disappear like a morning mist on the Scottish Highland as soon as the sun rises.
Well, I
It's
wish
not
there
to
was
spring
a
because
way.
people are gutless and not legally acting against this. It's not going to work by electing the right official, even somebody that's good-hearted like Trump. It's not going to get fixed. He's got morons around like Mick Mulvaney doing a dance when they put 5G network and they're recycling toxic water and pushing GMO food. Has he talked about his cytotoxins? I heard the moron Trump is not only the fattest president since William Howard Taft, he's chugging down 12 aspartame, which drives up your insulin and stress hormones. So the man is heading toward either something major medical happening to him. He's heading toward diabetes, a stroke, heart attack, or congestive heart failure, or cancer. He'll be just like Mr. Ronald Reagan after he had the last jelly bean and got sick. And become
Well, he sure is
demented.
gaining weight from this. I can tell
He's
you
gaining
that.
weight because he's stuffing his face and he's stressed like crazy. He likes the battle, but he's a moron. He drinks 12 aspartame-laced drinks a day. Do you think this is going to be good for you, Mr. Trump? I don't give a shit if you're POTUS, or excuse my English. I don't care a crap if you're POTUS. If you're drinking aspartame-laced drinks, it's going to ruin your health. At some point, things are going to break. Yeah, you're an insomniac. You get along with 3 hours or 4 hours a night sleep. At some moment, even if you're well-intentioned, you're going to get sick, sucker.
Or you can imagine what he could do if he wasn't using this stuff.
Oh,
And
listen, man, I pray for him.
It-
And if I can, and I'm actually close because I'm really close to actually talking to his son personally. I got contacts. I got a letter back on the 12th of September from him, but I think it was written by one of his underlings to John W. Spring. People need to understand, Deagle is no average person. If I don't get through to Trump, we're screwed and tattooed. And honestly, I don't see, to be honest with you, any progress in Europe or America against these toxic sweeteners or genetically modified food. I see
Well,
virtually
no,
I see no
it's getting
progress. I see a
worse.
lawsuit against Roundup-induced non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the big lawyers are, hey, if you've been Roundup and they gave you a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, cash in. Yeah, cash in while you're dying. Ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is.
So Dr. Betty, I want you to do, in the last segment here, I want you to ask a tough question. I know that you're a smart lady. I want you to ask the toughest question you think you could ask on earth if you had God on my shoulder giving the answer. Go ahead.
Well, that would be that in order to do what you have, discussed, is how do we, because I've already got, over 50 organizations that I've started around the world because we need to translate
You need to, if you
into
just
their
suppose, say, Lillian,
languages. The question is, how do we get together enough millions of people to do what you say?
No, you don't do
Because-
millions. Let me explain what you do. You have individuals. For example, I can file personally to the International Court of Justice in The Hague. I can file against the Supreme Court. I can file against the EFSA in Europe, even though I'm not a European. I can file against the FDA. I can file against the individual members. I can file against congresspersons and senators, drug cartel members, members of drug companies that are putting this in the generic drugs. I can file against people importing from China the generic drugs that have aspartame in them that the Chinese make for us. Because remember, Ajinomoto's in Japan, but they put the damn things together in China. I guarantee you these generic drugs come in, are already pre-manufactured in China and shipped here in bulk, pre-packaged, ready to go to the farm.
Well, I know you're right. Somebody.
So in other words, you don't try to
called
get
me
millions
from-
together. You get millions of individuals filing separate lawsuits and pro se litigant actions in every court, state court, federal court, local court, against drug companies, cartels, against the manufacturers of food. You go going to the EFSA in Europe against the FDA. If you start filing against congressmen and senators that support and are corrupt with the drug companies, remember now, D.C. is a district of criminals. Every single one of our politicians is on the take, okay? If you're not on the take, you're not on the make. I mean, did you know that the average politician in Congress spends more time recruiting money than a prostitute on a red light district in Amsterdam? Do you know
I believe you.
And you know the average
Absolutely
politician makes
believe you.
3 times as much as the hottest prostitute in the world. The average U.S. politician in Congress on the take, like Mr. Nadler, makes 3 times as much as the top whore in Washington, D.C. and New York. 3 times. Now, you wonder why we're
always,
screwed up? Yeah.
It's always about money. They don't. They could care less about anything or what it's going to do, even to their own family.
Yeah, but remember, the money's only the vehicle. They want the incubus. They want the ectoplasm of your miserable and premature death in the spirit realm. This is not just about money. This is about misery and death. They glory in it. I'll give you a little vignette here from the Screwtape Letters, a little spin-off from Deagle. Dear Lord Satan, Aspartame Awareness Month does not stop the FSA or FDA to stop aspartame, splendadvantame, isosulfam, and all the other toxic excitotoxins that are feminizing the population so they don't even know what sex they are. We are so proud, Lord Satan. They are sterilized, dummified, and castrated. We have done a great job, and soon they'll all be melting. Their brain will melt like the movie a decade ago, Mars Invades, and their brain will decay to yellowish green mush. Lord Satan, we are proud. That's what's coming. And people say, oh, no, you're making this up. I said, you know what? You have so many documents you could choke on. You have so many documents in Mission Possible World Health International. You go to mpwhi.com. This is not open to opinion. We're well beyond opinion now. Now is the time for action, and it's pro se litigant. If we don't want to try to amalgamate people into one lawsuit, 10,000 lawsuits in every avenue possible against every individual and corporation, that'll tie these buggers up in knots. That's the only way to fix this. No other way works. Talking to politicians, stupid. We're a waste of time. They're a distraction. Even Donald Trump is a distraction. Right? Sue them.
Well,
that'll stop them. Take away their home and their fancy car and their very big boat. That'll stop them.
Well,
Thank you, Dr. Betty. Amazing. Yeah, go ahead.